Hello and welcome to the Test Community Network. I hope you're safe and well. My name's Tim Burnett. Welcome to the Test Community Network. This week we're going to be in conversation with some recordings I've had with people at the EATP conference that was in Dublin 2 weeks ago now. So I've got some really nice chats coming up, informative about the conference, about the ATP program, about the ATP structure, and how you can get involved, everything. So lots of lovely little chats to come there. I'm just going to add to the stage now. I'm just going to share with you the Test Community Network. Just give you some ideas on here. So as ever, anything I discuss and share on here, you can go to the testcommunitynetwork.com. You can find it on there. You can also subscribe to the Test Community Network, and in doing so, you can receive a lovely weekly email which takes you through some of the highlights from this week. Just looking at the events coming up, so we've got a number of user conferences actually next week. It's kind of that's the big kind of draw at the moment. So we've got a couple of university higher education events. We've got this past conference. Now, I had apologies to make for anyone who received the email last week. I got the date wrong in the email and on the LinkedIn thing, but it's this past conference 2025. So we're talking about the conference in the future, not the one in the past. But it was an excellent conversation with Jim, and I really do recommend you check that out. Again, we had a bit of a thing. We were talking about robotics, and I was talking about robotics the week before. So a little bit of a theme going on there. RM have got their event as well. So they've got the user conference. Rogo, they did the TPAC conference last week, which was fantastic. I'll give you more of an update on that one later on. That they've got a session coming up about accountants, and then we have looking further ahead, we have University Summit, Eintech World Forum, Cybernetic Inspire have got their user conference. Lots and lots of events. There's somewhere in there is a CNG event as well, and some other ATP ones. Just looking at the knowledge-based activities that are in there at the moment. So there's calls for scrapping a program in relation to English language. Mary Richardson was on that, and other people are leading the way on that. Mary's not leading, I don't think, but a lot of people calling out for some changes there. Screen time conversations. AI can now pass the CFA exam. We've got Grade have got their content from their webinar on there. There's an article there from Secure and Confidential Documents. They do a session about they talk about paper versus digital examinations. It's worth having a look at that. And there was one other one I really wanted to stand out to you. Also a few bits on cheating as well. It's kind of common place item. Oh yeah, so I had to put an article together about the Digital. So I took some of the data from TPAC, I took some of the data from EATP that I gathered about people's use of online proctoring, and I put that together and kind of draw some conclusions just about where the direction is. And basically, I believe that some organizations are going 100% digital, online proctored, and then others are going to centres with only a small accommodations-based requirement. I mean, it's mainly because of cheating activities in there, and there's bits in the middle as well. And of course, Isabel has got her podcast out as well, so do recommend you check out and look at that one. As ever, I recently published the AI playbook for adoption of AI by UK awarding organisations. You can download it for free. I've had lots and lots of interest in there, so I do recommend that you check that out. It's really, really good. In the assessment marketplace, just looking at some of the recent additions. So we've got LearnWise, some other higher education. So I've been in a bit of a kind of higher education shopping spree at the moment, looking at organisations which are supporting that space. The one that I did want to kind of pull out is this project here. So this was MCQ authoring platform. Now, this is something I built within Lovable over the space of just a day, really. And it was whilst I was doing other work. It was kind of running in the background as I just occasionally get in there and chat with it. And it's a multiple choice authoring platform. And it's kind of less about what it does, but the idea being this is a kind of software as a community project. So you can contribute your ideas, and I will chat those into Lovable, and we'll add and expand out the product and see where it goes, see if we make it into the most awesome product ever. And finally, just a reminder, we've got the collections. So I'm building up these stacks of collections of different resources. So consultants, high stakes platforms, university solutions, online proctoring, so there's over in there, and then within there you can do a deep dive, deep research on the collection as well, so you can ask a question against that. Right, on to my interview. That's less about that. On to my interview now with various delegates from the EATP, and let's hear what they had to say about the conference. Fantastic. It's been a good conference so far?
It's been a really great conference, the best one that I've been to so far.
Oh, so how long have you been working for ATP then?
I have been working for ATP for 2 years on September 11th, so just got to my 2-year mark.
Excellent. And so the team, it's quite a small team, isn't it?
Very small team. It's just 3 staff members.
Okay. And so there's lots of other divisions, how do you run such a big organisation with such a small team?
We run it through our volunteers. So we have 15 divisions, committees, and SIGs, and we have hundreds of volunteers across those divisions. We have them in our standing committees as well as our conference committees, and they pretty much run ATP. So they help us with publications, they help us with legal documents, they help us run our coffee chats and our webinars, they power our conferences. Yeah. They are really the backbone of ATP.
And there's some brilliant kind of initiatives. There was the TBA guidelines that came out. There was kind of guidance on AI, legal alerts come out. They're, I think, to me, that's one of the big wins of ATP, because that's one of the big gaps for it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Dublin for the conference. What do you think made you think Dublin? Why select Dublin?
I think it's an easy place to get to when it comes to transportation. It's also a really cultural city. Yeah. It's really scenic. People like Dublin. It's a draw. We also were trying to get a little bit away from mainland Europe, just to give it a little bit of a diversity in location, just to make sure that when we go to a European conference, everyone in Europe kind of gets a chance to be close to their hometown. So that's why we move around Europe a lot. Yeah, so Dublin is a really good location.
It's a great thing. Have you got to any of the sessions so far? I know you've been very busy.
I've gone to the general sessions, just not any of the individual sessions, unfortunately. But I will be going to some tomorrow morning. Yeah, I'm excited.
It's good to. What kind of things are you looking for?
I like things about cheating. It's always interesting to see how people avoid cheating, because I've seen so many different ways through undergrad and grad school. I've seen so many innovative ways to cheat, and so I'm interested to see what people are doing about that and how they're kind of getting around how AI really makes cheating easier in a lot of situations.
So what's on the horizon then for ATP? What kind of big things have we got coming up?
In terms of our events?
Yeah, so you've got some webinars, I think, coming up soon.
We have lots of webinars coming up. So our divisions are very engaged, and they put on webinars regularly. So we have, oh my gosh, we have 3 or 4 webinars between September and October. One from our Equity Committee on September 25th. That's for members only. We have a series of Education Division roundtables at the end of September 29th, 30th, and October 1st. We also have our October Coffee Chat, which is going to be centered around the India ATP conference that's happening in January. We have a TBA webinar coming up in October. So we have a lot of webinars going on.
And then you've got innovations
next
year. Where's that going to be?
That's going to be in New Orleans, Louisiana. March 1st through 4th, 2026. We've actually never been in New Orleans, so I'm really excited about that, about having a new location.
Yeah, because it's last year was in Florida, wasn't it?
Yeah,
the
Florida,
year before was LA,
Anaheim, California. And so we always go to the different coasts. So we were on the East Coast last year, so now we're at Central, and then next year we'll be back on the West Coast.
Excellent. Well done. Well, thank you very much for chatting for me, and good luck with the rest of the conference. It's been great so far.
Thank you, and thank you for being here.
Cheers. Paddy, good to see you. You well?
Very well, thank you. Very well, thanks, Tim.
So how's the conference been so far?
It's been fantastic so far. Just the ability to open and know that the keynote was so well received. That was fantastic.
It was really good. Mary was excellent.
It was very good. It was very good. And obviously the knowledge of the high attendance numbers this year is just really good to see everyone here.
What was the increase then from last year?
It was over 25% increase, so quite a nice number. We yet to dig into the sort of stats and see exactly what caused the increase, but we need to obviously ensure that it continues year over year. Just a gradual increase is the aim, so hopefully next year can carry on.
I think Dublin's helped, hasn't it? Because it's a good location.
It is a good location, quite easy for everyone to get to. So that's the sort of thing that I think will be taken into consideration in years to come.
So you had to do the opening because you've been the chair of the conference?
I did have to do the opening.
How did that feel?
It's always a bit nerve-wracking in front of people, but no, it was quite nice. Again, the knowledge that we'd put so much work into the programme and everything, it's a lot easier to speak in front of people when you're confident in what you're putting out there. So, I think it went quite well, and again with the keynote, that's the main focus. focus isn't really the chair, if honest, I don't think.
No, I know, and there's always that kind of thing, isn't it? When picking a keynote, is it people want assessment related, or do they want that kind of inspiration? I think Mary gave us both, really.
A bit of both, but also some very sort of sobering data points that I think just really hammers home how important this industry is, but she also made it clear how little sort of academic research is actually going into assessment. So hopefully food for thought for everyone at the conference and to increase the study. Really.
Yeah, definitely. I know this is her first time at this conference. I think she's been quite impressed by it, which is a good thing because we don't get many academics at this particular conference. There are, some aren't there, but something I try to do on the Test Community.Network is just try and open people's eyes up to different pockets because there's so much stuff that you can learn from other places that you just wouldn't get if you're just in your...
Especially EATP, because it's not specialised to any one particular area or sector of the industry, so it does have something for everyone.
Yeah, it's divisions, isn't it? But
there are divisions indeed. Yeah, but there really is something for all different kinds of organisations. So I think the main thing is trying to ensure that those organisations are aware that we do cater for them.
So, and Surpass, what are you up to these days? What's kind of big news for you guys?
Oh, all sorts. I guess the big news would be, the biggest news I would say would be Surpass Tutor, which is a sort of a platform which allows candidates to receive immediate feedback from AI to a lot of their responses, which can be written, spoken, and then they can actually have the AI create further questions for them to test in that specific area. So that's seen a lot of a big push and quite a lot of success so far.
And weren't you growing a Test Centre network as well? Has that been something?
Yeah, Test Centre network's growing as well. That's always been a very flexible offering. So but at this point we are really pushing, particularly in North America. So that's seen quite a large expanse, helping us break into that market even more.
Okay, so, well, thank you very much, and thank you for opening, and thank you for from the community as someone who to step forward and be the chair, because it's not an easy job to do, is it?
It's not an easy job, but working with the committee is probably the highlight. The amount of great minds and great people on the committee just make it actually quite a nice thing to do. So I'd always encourage anyone who's at all interested, if they have a little bit of time spare, to try and look at joining the committee. Yeah.
And do you stay as chair for next year then, or does that roll
So I don't stay as chair for next year. There's a sort of rolling rota.
Right.
You start as secretary, then a year as vice chair, and then chair. So this is my last year as part of that leadership team, but I will stay on as part of the committee.
Hugh, great to meet you. Is this your first time at EATP?
It is indeed, yes.
What's been your impression so far?
It's been really super interesting so far. So I'm completely fresh to the assessment field, so it's been a bit of a kind of fact-finding mission for me, exploring around. Fortunate enough to see quite a few of our partners here as well for accessibility.
So what is it you do then? Well, just remind it's ReadSpeaker, isn't it?
Yes,
what do you do?
We're a global provider of text-to-speech solutions, so primarily used in accessibility for assessments, higher education. We also do it in a whole stream of other areas for about 25 years now. Yeah.
Okay, and is that kind of a standalone thing, or does that plug into other assessment platforms? How does that work?
Yeah, so we offer a bit of both actually, Tim. So we have aspects which are geared towards individuals who are looking for, say, a tool for with dyslexia, for instance, who want something to help them read when they're at university. Yeah. But we also do a lot of integrations and plugins where we'll work by inserting ourselves into, say, LMS or an assessment platform so that it can actually fit inside the housing of whatever platform a partner's using.
So assessment, I suppose, isn't your normal game. First time at this conference, has it been useful to you, being a kind of eco supplier, not necessarily a kind of hardcore kind of assessment provider? Has this conference been useful for you?
Absolutely. I think, from what I've seen so far, you get a kind of really good insight and cutting edge into what's going on in assessment. I mean, it's been really eye-opening for me just to see the difference 10 years can make since I was at university to now. Mary Richardson's talk was, I thought, particularly interesting. I think what she talked about, marrying the humanizing aspect of what you're doing in assessments is fundamental, but there's so much potential, as I think everyone in the industry is talking about with AI, plus or minuses really on that front, but really, really interesting. I saw a presentation yesterday which was talking about how in occupational trainings for, say, in the medical and clinical field, you can use AI to create a storytelling scenario-based training where at the end of the day they can be getting feedback and learnings, which I think is...
Is that a chat thing or is that a kind of doing thing? How does that work?
Yeah, it's essentially you... are you familiar with Gary's Mod? It's a gaming plug-in sandbox where you can create all kinds of different games, and so they do things like prop hunt and things. It's called,
okay, right. No.
This was a big thing a while ago now. I was showing my age, but it was reminiscent of that actually. What I saw, because you can kind of create this instance of a scenario where you can have this human interaction, and then with the correct people behind it, building all of the inputs for it, you can create really fantastic learning scenarios, I think, where there's a lot of benefit. For myself, I was one of those people who'd have to spend time out of school to kind of shout at the wall a little bit and have a conversation to be able to learn something. So the idea that I, in a interesting way, be able to use AI to have a conversation outside of my regular learnings to build something, I think is really, really cool. Yeah.
My first ever computer program was the L program on a BBC Micro, so then anyone listening will know that is an ancient thing, so I'm getting quite ancient now. But are you going to come back next year, you think?
Yeah, potentially. I think so. Yeah. I think I was also the E-Assessment Association. I think is coming up as well. So
they've got the BMC conference in November, isn't it? And then they've got the main conference and awards is June next year, isn't it? So,
awesome.
Yeah, good to see you there.
From my standpoint, I think what we do with text-to-speech and accessibility is something that's, a fundamental aspect of that humanization that we talk about with assessments. We want it to be fair and parity, and we also want it to be something that's accessible for everyone. So I see lots of exciting opportunity for me to come back and hopefully have some more cool conversations with people doing cool things.
Do you think you'll go over to New Orleans for the Innovations Conference, ATP's big conference?
Ooh, I think I'll have to ask ask my finance department about that one.
It's a good one. It's worth going to. But, well, thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you very much.
Anna, great to see you. You well?
Yeah, very well. Thank you very much. How are you, Tim?
I'm good. Are you enjoying EATP so far?
Loving it. It's so nice to connect with everybody, catch up with old friends, and find out everything we need to find out about assessment today. So really looking forward to the rest of the conference.
And have you presented so far, or have you still got a presentation to come? What's your kind of schedule?
It's one of those. It's both. So I presented today.
Yeah.
Essentially, it was called Breaking Barriers, Women in Assessment.
Right. Okay.
And we talked about the challenges that some women face when it comes to taking their assessment experience and that sort of thing. So that was a really great talk. Really enjoyed that.
And that's quite pertinent, because I've been talking a lot about Mary's presentation and the opening keynote, because she was saying about the disengaged kind of younger generation, particularly females. It's dropping in the education stuff. So I think that's a really pertinent kind of conversation to have, isn't it?
Definitely.
How was it well received? You get lots of questions?
Yeah, I got loads of questions. It was really great. We're talking about all sorts of issues that affect women. One particular notable, wasn't a question, but it was a comment. There was a gentleman from a fire service in the UK, and he was talking about how what he really enjoyed was being brought along the journey of these kind of women's issues like menopause and things like that. So essentially they have somebody that's nominated within their organisation, a lady that experiences a lot of the kind of course design type stuff and gives feedback on, is this accessible and inclusive to both men and women? And so they've incorporated that into their flow of how they approach putting together their training and assessment. I just thought that was fantastic. And he just raised a fantastic point about, that in order for there to be kind of gender parity, men have to be brought along too, and having supportive men around is fantastic. And there's so many supportive men in this industry that, it's just fantastic. So.
I think it is a massively important topic, and it's one that we don't hear about much, even though 50% of the population go through perimenopause and all that kind of the process in it. So it's essential that we talk about these things. That's fantastic. What about tomorrow? Have you got another session then tomorrow?
I do. Unfortunately, it's at 8:30 on the Friday now. That's the last day of the conference. But I'm hopeful to get a few people. So fingers crossed. There's some people that said that they're going to come. So it's on user experience design in your assessment. So Myself and Richard London from Prometric have put together a great presentation, very interactive, a lot of imagery and all that sort of stuff. Going through kind of design and design principles. I'm really looking forward to that one. It's quite creative, and I think beneficial to people in the industry to kind of have an awareness of things that are a little bit more typically in the creative design sphere.
Yeah, and it's a really important topic, and it's because you don't want the barrier of the assessment experience to kind of interfere with your testing process and stuff like that. Yes. And because your product as well, you do products.
Yes.
So are you quite engaged in the whole UX? So is that like a big thing for you?
Massively. So in my work in Eintech, it's kind of woven through the entire journey of what we do. Good. So anytime that we're putting together new functionality, I'm talking to the team, or my team is talking to the team about, okay, who is the typical user type that's going to use this? Who's the persona? Who's the person that's actually going to interact with this product? It's a very human-centered design approach, and just looking at everything and making sure that it's following universal design principles, that it's an easy, intuitive flow, that you don't have to think about the steps that you need to do to get through it. It should be like picking up a pencil and inputting into paper. That's what we're getting. I don't want the technology to feel like a barrier. I only want it to be a positive. And so it's just important to kind of empower the entire technology team to realize that. So it's a huge part of my role, and I really love it.
Fantastic. And we serve together for the moment on the EAA board, because I'm rolling off, you're carrying on. Do you enjoy that? Is that a good thing?
Oh, I love it. It's so nice to have the opportunity to contribute back into into the industry and meet like-minded people, talk about topics, but also just like the volunteering aspect, meeting all sorts of different people, having the opportunity to kind of step out of your role and be just very kind of industry agnostic in a sense is super beneficial.
So you're quite clearly doing a lot in terms of your volunteering. Do you find that that's beneficial to you as a person in terms of, does it help you develop your skills?
Massively, I would say so. I mean, it's important to kind of sharpen your skills in a number of contexts, not just, your day-to-day role or maybe some business development activity. It's important to kind of move a step beyond that and think about
your comfort zone a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah, it's fantastic.
And what's happening with Rogo? What's anything big news coming up soon?
So right now we're working on a virtual professional discussion, and having a great time putting that all together. It's a super exciting project, but essentially being able to facilitate that within the assessment platform is super important. Through research, we found a lot of people were doing professional discussions ad hoc, on Zoom, on Teams, not really invigilated in a more controlled sense. And then administrators were having to attach the recordings back to attempts, update marks in different places, all this sort of stuff.
So messy stuff.
So having that integrated flow, it's just very exciting stuff. So that's been really great.
Excellent. Well, I look forward to that. Well, thank you for chatting. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the conference, and good luck with your session tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Tim.
Excellent. Thanks.
Cheers. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you for that. There was some really nice chats there. I think Hugh, obviously, is his first time at the event. Paddy done a brilliant job in leadership, and I know what it's like because I've been previous chair to EATP conferences. He's quite nervous. Nerve-wracking getting up there on the stage. It's kind of great to hear about the volunteering, but that came from both Nena and from Anna as well. The opportunity is there. So with ATP and other organisations, you can get involved, be part of it. But the personal benefit, and as Anna was talking about there, is a substantial part of it as well. So anyway, thank you to all the volunteers. Thank you to everyone that ran the conference. It was a really great event. I really enjoyed it, and that's it for me. So as ever, if you want to subscribe to the Community.Network, please do so. Join for free and get lots of more amazing chat like this. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.